Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled deep within a dense, enchanting forest, lived a sweet and curious little girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She earned her distinctive name due to the vibrant, crimson-hooded cape her beloved grandmother had lovingly crafted for her. Little Red Riding Hood was known throughout the village for her kind heart and radiant smile, which brightened even the gloomiest of days. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen and placed a wicker basket filled with homemade treats on the table. It was filled with freshly baked bread, a wheel of creamy cheese, a jar of honey, and an assortment of sweet confections. Her mother told her that her dear grandmother had fallen ill and requested her presence. Little Red Riding Hood, eager to help her grandmother, donned her crimson cape and carefully packed the basket, ready to embark on a journey into the heart of the forest. As she ventured into the woods, the dappled sunlight played tricks with the leaves above, casting playful shadows on the forest floor. Birds chirped merrily, and the gentle breeze whispered through the trees. Unbeknownst to Little Red Riding Hood, a sly and cunning wolf had been lurking among the trees, keeping a watchful eye on her. The wolf's stomach growled with hunger, and he saw this as the perfect opportunity to satisfy his appetite. With a devious glint in his eye, the wolf stealthily approached Little Red Riding Hood and struck up a friendly conversation. He asked her where she was headed and why she was journeying through the forest all alone. Innocently, Little Red Riding Hood shared the purpose of her visit and the nature of the goodies in her basket. The wolf, seizing this opportunity, hatched a wicked plan. He knew the path to her grandmother's cottage, and he decided to reach there before Little Red Riding Hood, disguising himself as her beloved grandmother. So, the wolf hastened through the forest, his sinister thoughts racing as he approached the quaint cottage nestled in a cozy clearing. Upon reaching her grandmother's cottage, the wolf knocked on the door. When the elderly woman opened it, the wolf, in a low, croaky voice, pretended to be Little Red Riding Hood. He claimed that he had come to visit and was feeling unwell. The unsuspecting grandmother, who had poor eyesight, invited him inside, thinking it was, indeed, her granddaughter. The wolf quickly leaped forward, gobbled her up, and took her place in her bed, hiding under the covers. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood continued on her path through the forest, the basket swaying gently from her arm. She marveled at the beauty of the woods, the wild flowers, and the symphony of nature around her. Yet, she couldn't shake off a sense of unease. She noticed that her grandmother looked strange upon her arrival, and her innocent curiosity led her to ask questions. "Grandmother, why do your eyes look so big?" Little Red Riding Hood inquired, puzzled. The wolf, caught off guard, stammered, "Oh, my dear, it's so I can see you better." Little Red Riding Hood wasn't convinced. She pressed further. "But grandmother, your ears look so big too." The wolf, realizing that his disguise was unraveling, replied hastily, "Well, my dear, it's so I can hear you better." Suspicion grew stronger in Little Red Riding Hood's heart. She scrutinized her grandmother's appearance, noticing the sharpness of her teeth. "Why, grandmother, your teeth look so big and sharp," she exclaimed. The wolf, unable to maintain the facade any longer, sprang out of the bed, revealing his true, menacing identity. He lunged at the girl, his sharp teeth bared, but Little Red Riding Hood's instincts kicked in, and she managed to escape from the cottage. In her panicked flight, she left the basket of goodies behind, and the wolf, driven by his insatiable hunger, quickly devoured the delicious treats she had brought. Meanwhile, a passing huntsman, drawn by Little Red Riding Hood's cries for help, made his way to the cottage. He was an experienced woodsman, skilled in tracking and dealing with forest creatures. The huntsman arrived at the cottage just in time to see the wolf trying to escape through the open window. He moved swiftly, capturing the wolf with a well-aimed net and rescuing Little Red Riding Hood from the clutches of the cunning predator. The wolf was incapacitated and unable to harm anyone else. The huntsman, displaying bravery and wisdom, explained to Little Red Riding Hood and her mother the dangers of the forest and the importance of being cautious when encountering strangers. They were immensely grateful to him for his heroic actions. In the days that followed, Little Red Riding Hood and her stories of the harrowing experience. They marveled at the bravery of the huntsman and the lessons she had learned. From then on, Little Red Riding Hood was even more careful when journeying through the woods, and she never spoke to strangers. Her mother's heart swelled with pride for her wise and resilient daughter, and so the village continued to thrive, and the story of Little Red Riding Hood served as a timeless reminder to children and adults alike about the importance of trust, safety, and the perils that could lurk beneath the surface of a seemingly innocent encounter. Little Red Riding Hood and her mother cherished their moments together, knowing that they were now wiser and safer because of their shared adventure. And in the heart of the forest, the wolf's howl served as a reminder of a narrow escape and the enduring lesson of a classic tale